All right, I'm back at the home base with my two favorite bikes after the Sea Otter Classic 2024. Great show, but the talk of the show were the bankruptcies and financial difficulties of some of our beloved brands. And the first one is Kona Bicycles. They really made waves in the worst way possible because they put up their booth, they paid for everything, and then the employees were instructed to tear down the booth the day before the expo started on Thursday. And they said, hey, tear down the booth and we're gonna have a town hall meeting tomorrow. And so that was kind of a shakedown or a shakeup and got everyone worried that the company was bankrupt or was gonna shut down. So we feared the worst, but we have some clarification on what's going on now. So what's going on is they are owned by a big company, Kent Outdoors, not Kent Bicycles, like you see in the department store bikes, but Kent Outdoors, kind of a conglomerate. They're not having a fun time either, because it's post-pandemic, a lot of difficulties in all their other businesses. So they secured a new line of credit, $100 million, and they have a new CFO 2 days prior to this event. And what he did, what a lot of people do, is said, hey, spending freeze. Hold everything, don't spend a dime. And sometimes, the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing, especially in these big companies. Obviously, they don't really believe in the future of Kona bicycles. They've had, these crazy developments like, hey, they sold online, direct, but really didn't handle it well with their dealers. So the dealers were kind of upset. And then with the difficulties, they started doing these buy one, get one free sales, and that's not a great thing because, as a biker, it's not like a t-shirt, buy one, get one. Oh yeah, I like those two designs. No, on bicycles, you buy one bike from the same brand at a time. You don't buy two Kona bicycles or two Specialized bikes at a time. It just doesn't work that way. Maybe we could get a deal, get your friends together and do a package deal, but that's kind of difficult. Anyway, so I'm not sure how that deal went, but it was kind of shocking. But obviously financial difficulties, and with they said basically spending freeze, everybody get back home, don't say a word to media. So no one really knows anything, but they've made a statement now, and what they want to do is sell the company, sell the brand Kona to anyone that will take it. So they're trying to clean up the balance sheet, obviously, and make it look good. But what that means, I've been through many of these myself, is, clean up the balance sheet, lay off a bunch of people, trim down to the sellable asset and sell that, 10 million, 100,000, whatever they can get, they're going to get rid of it. So, but the worst thing they can do is kind of devalue the brand by doing this at Sea Otter. So not a great move. And Kona Bicycles, it's near and dear to our heart because they have the best brand and the best logo for us old timers, right? And they made a lot of great things with hardtails. But now they've struggled. In the past 10, 20 years, I don't even know anyone there, and they haven't tried any of their bikes. So they're kind of like, treading. They become like a regional brand in Bellingham. They're kind of treading the water, and now it's come to a head. They need to really determine what's going to happen in their future, if they have a future, a roadmap for the next 5 years. So hopefully a new brand will take them and not just buy the URL or the IP and put it on something else. Like what was that brand? Motorbeacon was a great brand back when I started road biking back in the day, and then they went bankrupt. They just got put on Bikes Direct. Just a different rendition of their legacy. So that's Kona Bicycles for you. If you know anything more, and I'm sure we'll know more in the coming days, please let me know in the comments. Definitely a hot topic. Okay, the next subject is Pole bicycles. I think 1 or 2 days, about 1 day before the show, the Sea Otter show, Rob from Rob Rides E-MTB published a video from the founder saying, hey, we're going bankrupt, insolvent in Finland. Not sure what the laws are there, but it really looks like they're done. They're done. They tried to sell the company, but they couldn't come to terms, and it's over. So hopefully they can sell their technology. I'm not sure if the brand can live on, but it's a big problem. It's an unfortunate incident because they were an innovative company. They were innovative with the frame, with the construction, with their geometry. That's why they made waves. And that guy was so cool. He was always at Sea Otter, willing to preach the gospel of this rad new geometry and this new form of construction. And in e-bikes, what they did was pretty radical. They would sell frame sets from the get-go. And so that's why a couple of my friends have them, because they were able to build up an e-bike from scratch, just like we want to do, like we used to do in the old days. So rest in peace, Pole Bicycles. I hope the employees and the founder find a new spot, and I hope the technology finds a new spot. But a word of warning: I went on MTBR. They said, hey, you could go on the website, and nothing is said about this bankruptcy, and you could go ahead and fill up your cart and buy a bike. But that's a problem, because as you know, when a company goes bankrupt, you're an owner. Or if they have your money and you haven't have your bike yet, that is a big problem. It's very hard. You don't have a position of negotiation once you're in that state. And the company is everything's changing. The guys you're dealing with, they might be unemployed a few hours later. So a big issue. So be careful there. Buyer beware. Third subject I want to cover, again, another unfortunate incident, is Colorado Cyclist is closing, same as Planet Cyclery. So Planet Cyclery, Colorado Cyclist is when I started biking. I was like, dang, that catalog is so cool. It's like the new monthly you're waiting for. Nice, glossy, and very good descriptions. Kind of the competitive cyclist before online happened. So very cool company. I think they went through an acquisition as well. Planet Cyclery got them because they were doing online really good, and now they are closing. So all these online guys are having a hard time, or they're going through sales and whatnot. Inventory is the main problem of this whole post-pandemic situation. Basically, what is the inventory problem? Like, I know of a company, they said they had bikes in kind of the mid-low end range that they had inventory for the next 5 years sitting in a warehouse. So that's a real problem. That gives you a kind of insight to what's going on. If you have that, that's money that you're paying interest on, that you're losing, money that's holding up your innovation. You can't buy new stuff if that's sitting there, so you have to clear it. The other thing is you can't sell new stuff. So if you have a 2025 version, 2024 version of this bike, but you have 3 years worth of 2023 inventory, you can't release the new bike because then you can't sell the old bike, the existing bike. So big problem, and I know it is existing right now here in the industry in so many levels. And the last thing I'll take note of is Santa Cruz Bikes. People were asking me, where are they? Because they weren't there last year. They kind of like to alternate, but the fact that they're not there, and they're the kind of the most lucrative brand in the Bay Area, home base of Sea Otter, is really raises eyebrows. And like, what's going on? I mean, even Trek, who said they'll never do Sea Otter again, to me, like, boom, they're right there. People are hungry again. People know they need to market, they need to reach the consumer, they need to sell their inventory, they need to move product. So what better way than Sea Otter? But Santa Cruz was not there, not a word. They weren't there last year either. They want to do something different, but also it's a glimpse that they are having difficulty. There's no doubt about that. You go to their website and everything is on sale. Everything is on sale. Like, maybe the new bike, the Heckler SL and the Skitch are not on sale, the mid-power bikes. But a lot of the bikes I recognize, I think maybe this one's not on sale. Maybe I should hang on to it. Favorite bike. The Heckler e-bike, 36% off. Like, wow, it's an e-bike. How do you put an e-bike for sale? But it's not selling well. They have a lot of it, and they have to clear that inventory. Also, they had because of the inventory problems, they lost their CEO. So Rob Roscoff, dear friend, founder, left a couple of years ago. The successor, we were in good hands with Joe Graney, the engineer from MIT who went up the ranks, became CTO and CEO, is now gone. Maybe it's now been 4 to 6 months. It was just just a quick exit, mostly because probably of the financial troubles, and and he wasn't having fun anymore. So now I don't know who the vision is. They put a Dutch guy in at the helm, controlling the wheel. But we're looking for direction. We're looking for, Santa Cruz is the most, in my days with MTBR, was always the most lucrative brand. They weren't the number one owned, but they were always the number one desired brand. And they're losing their grip on that, especially with the advent of e-bikes. They weren't very early on the e-bikes, so they're like on par with other people, but they're not like the leader that's coveted. So hopefully they can find their way, have a lot of friends there, but a lot of layoffs, a lot of cost reduction happening at Santa Cruz as well, and owned by Pawn Holdings, a big stable Dutch company. You think they're in good hands with a lot of money like Kent, but they also are not the ones to steer the rudder, and they also really also focus on the bottom line of each of their brands or business units. So that's unavoidable. That's business. So there you go. My next video, I will give you 10 of my observations, my surprises at the Sea Otter Classic. And also I have a bunch of videos here of interviews that I did with really cool companies and owners at the Sea Otter Classic. Thanks a ton, everybody.